I have searched all over the internet looking for the distance, the maximum distance you can be before you stop getting XP. I'm a level 70 mage and I'm trying to boost my warlock. I can't get the jump on the edge right. Well, the way I have it set up is my warlock zones in, he chills at the entrance, and I kill along this path. I can't do that jump up and down properly. The way a lot of people on the YouTube videos, they do the boosting. I have to kill them along this wall here, and that's how I boosted 60 to 70. Now, when I kill on this wall here, my XP on my warlock is nil. I don't get anything. I tried to move him along the wall here and tried to get experience, but he will not gain the experience if I kill on this wall. They must die in the tunnel, and I can't get that 100% of the time. And when I do get it, the mobs have already reset, so their XP is significantly reduced. So I did a little experimenting. It took a couple of hours to find out what the maximum XP radius is. I even took to the internet and tried to look for some information on this. What is the range of dungeon XP? Nobody knows. And people say you see through stealth mile, which is irrelevant to what I'm talking about. Is there an XP distance in dungeons? Yes, there is. The reason I know this is because my warlock does not get experience sitting at the beginning. And let me just show you. So I zone in, and everything was taken from this spot here. The reason why is because when you zone in with a low level, you got those bog strocks that run here. They'll aggro if you're standing here. If you're level 60, 62, they'll aggro me. So I stand behind this mushroom here, and that's where all the calculation has been done. I did a 30 yard calculation. So what I did is I took my mage, put my warlock right on the edge there, right on the corner of the edge here, just so I can have something to reference when I start calculating yardage. And I took my Arcane Brilliance, which has a maximum 30-yard range. If I barely step to the left, oh, wrong left. If I barely step to the right, he's out of range. So the way I calculated this, I took all my graphics and I cut it down so I could see hard edges in the terrain, in the change of terrain, right? And that's how I got my 30-yard range. So what I did here is actually pretty complex, and it took a while, and I don't even know why I did it. Probably just to prove something to myself. So that's where my warlock sits. It sits on that mushroom that's taken there. And I wanted to calculate at what point do I stop getting experience. So on my mage, I killed these neutral NPCs, and I lined them up against the wall, and I used that to hard reference back onto the map. So if we look back at the map, this is the range I came up with. Standing from where my warlock stands up in behind the mushroom, when you zone in, this is the radius in which you will gain XP when you do any kind of killing if you're waiting at the entrance. But I used the brilliance, Arcane Brilliance. So every black dot represents a diameter in which my character will be standing for the buff. So we have the first radius, that's where my warlock was sitting. And then my mage was standing right on the center of the water. The reason it's not lining up is there's the edge. My mage was somewhere in the middle of the water, right? That's where it would go. Now, because I am standing at the mushroom, that's why the measurement looks a little off. I just rotated it and just moved it back to the mushroom. So what does this mean? Some people said it was 100 yards. a lot of people actually said it's 100 yards. And in fact, looking at this, it's 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 30. And what is that? 270 plus yards. Now, it's actually a little more than that because we have this little area here that I have yet to calculate. But we can safely assume this corner here is represented by this dot. The mob was here. I had it backed up into the wall. I killed it. I got XP. I killed another one. It moved to the left here. I killed it. I still got XP. And then I killed it right here. I can tell because it's where the texture in the texture on the ground changes. So it's light blue and not a dark green or whatever it is. Killed it here. Did not get experience. Then I took another mob and I put it on the corner here. I killed it, I got experience. And then it moved over here, another mob, I killed it, and then I got the experience. So that's where that black mark is. Then I took another mob and I backed it up into the middle here. I killed it. It was standing right here. I killed it. I did not get experience. And I don't know why I didn't mark it, but it's outside of this radius. So going forward, we can safely assume that it's 270 plus yards. I'm thinking that maybe it's like 280, maybe 285 yards. But the reason I did this is I wanted to know how far I can kill these mobs. So we'll go back to this drawing here. Having learned what I just learned, what I went through, is if I'm going to boost, I can't get up and down this ledge 100% of the time because it's like you got to tap, tap, tap. I can't do that. Way above my skill level. So what I'd like to do is I can kill the mobs here until they're about 15%. And then just rank 1 Blizz all the way through here. Looking at our map. Once they reach this level, then come into the tunnel and then I can kill them. That's why I did this. Because I want to know an easier way for me to start boosting my own characters without gimping them.